Alrighty guys, hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is going to be the third rec review we're doing from bot Richard. I don't know if all these will go to YouTube, but I'm just going to assume they are. And let's go ahead and put bot Richard in blue and his opponent in red, which I think was the setup we had for earlier games as well. And we're right again back around 1200, and he is our beloved human player. And so we're going to try to help him out once again. Keep in mind, he did send in these 3 Rex one-shots. So if you guys have been keeping up with his progress and watching every video, don't comment down below saying, he's not even listening, Hera. He's making the same mistakes every single time. But Richard, wake up. Bulgarians. No, I'm kidding. Don't comment that because that's not what's happening here at all. He sent me all these 3 Rex one-shot, and we will be reviewing them. And honestly, so far, we've done 2 Rex. By the way, I don't know what happened here, but we're down 34-second idle time. I don't know what happened. But it didn't happen to the other ones. I'm not going to focus too much on it. That's fine. Okay, wait. Let's back this up a little bit. See if I can give you some pointers on that. When did it happen? It happened when the boar was coming in. Okay, this is a classic error. So, like, basically... Oh, you're flustered a little. Okay, basically, but when you send your boar, as it's walking, you have to cue Vills right away. But like that's just it happened one time, so it's not a huge deal. Yeah, right when you go get your boar, before you send your Vill out, cue Vills, so that when you're luring the boar, you don't have to worry about your TC being idle. Very important. And then right after the boar, you actually have to drop off and then make Vills. Again, this is really weird. We're actually down 2 Vills worth of idle time. Yeah, that's really bad. Okay. We'll just assume, you know, it definitely happens. We'll just assume, it's not something you can just fix. Like, this doesn't seem to be an issue for you, so I'm not gonna, worry about it too much. I'm sure you know that this is not an ideal start. But I mean, hey, what to do if we have an ideal start? See how there's always a positive spin on everything, guys. We'll use it as a learning lesson. That lumber camp was really bad, by the way. It needs to be a little closer because now they're walking 2 tiles already. But yeah, like I said, what to do if we have a terrible start, which can happen to everybody. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. I'm gonna go for the TC on the front, and our opponent is rushing us. I like that this is happening. It's actually a men-at-arms. What you should do, because we have to fight for this location, is absolutely fight it with everything, or, that's actually better, quick wall and, you know, back up. But thing is, he's just gonna go to your berries. I think what you should do is just fight it with all your Vills, and if you lose 2, it doesn't matter. Honestly, I think that's what you should do. Because what's going to happen now, I can see the future. I'm just going to call what's happened now. He's going to, like, bother our Vills. Then we're going to run back. Then he's going to go to our wood. We're going to have, like, all our economy idle. And the 3-minute arms will never die. That's just going to happen. And that's way worse than just fighting them, losing 2 Vills. And, like, worst case scenario is losing 2 Vills. Usually you should lose, like, 1 if you fight it back with, like, a lot of Vills. And at this Elo bracket, they don't, like, micro back them in arms. They just fight the first fight you give them. That's why, like, they come in, wrong neighborhood. Slap him back with the Vills. Simple as that. Oh, this guy's microing. What the hell? This guy's crazy. That was really sick from the opponent. And again, that's why I like to just fight back. Because now he's going to go around to our wood. He might even hit our berries. And just going to get nasty. Okay. Anyways, minor arms aside, we got to do the same thing I recommended in the other videos. We got to get the 12 on food ASAP. You did this same mistake in every single one of the Rex that I've casted. Oh, he's into the wood. So this is no different. You gotta get the 12 on food ASAP. That is the magic number. Just fight them back. We're taking so much damage. I told you guys I've seen this movie before. This is why I always suggest in Feudal Age, just fight back with Vills. If you're not gonna lose like 5 Vills fighting it, just do it. So if your opponent has like 10 scouts or like 20 archers, obviously don't fight that back. But like especially early Feudal when they have just a few units, let's say magic number 5 or less units, just fight back with Vills, okay? It's gonna be way better. We already lost 2 Vills. So might as well just lose them here and just clear this up so you have peace of mind and you can get right back onto what you're doing. All right, like this is genuinely some good advice. Like really take my word from this, my word on this. Okay, so we're gonna rush back to 12 on food as soon as possible. It's very crucial. If we don't do this, then our TCs will be idle and the 2 TC boom will be rendered useless. We scouted our opponents a little bit. We don't know he's gonna do an archer follow-up, but we can kind of assume that. I actually don't know why we're going on to gold. Maybe you want to get some archers yourself. But usually you make the range first for the mining camp. Okay. We see the archers now. At this point, man, you're fully walled. Yeah. Ooh, we're gonna go for a stable. Nah, it should be a range. Should be a range. Can't be a stable because those men armor are alive. If you killed them, then stable's okay. But because those men armors are alive, stable doesn't make sense because if the men armors are grouped with the archers, you can basically never engage that until you have like 8 scouts with armor. And that's just gonna take you forever to get to. But I mean, this position's already super bad because we're down like both eco upgrades. And yeah, we got kicked off this wood line. Now we got pressured by archers. Our opponent's at 1500 res. Yeah, honestly, this is really, really tough. This is what happens when you have a bad start as well, right? This is definitely what happens when you have a bad start. So, I mean, it could be good for you to know that this is, like, not really 100% your fault. Like, it is because you had a bad start, but it's okay. It's not something that happens to you every game. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, like, if you find yourself in this position, your main goal here is to clean up the entire army. It's the only thing you can do. What I would have done is 2 ranges and go archers and skirms, a mix of them. Human buildings are cheap, so going up to 2 is really easy. And here you decide to go scouts into archers or into range, but like double range first is way better. Let's see what you can do with the scouts. You see our opponent's tower rushing us. Now we're gonna fight with the vills. I don't hate this actually. Again, the messier this gets, kind of the better for us in some ways, because we're already behind. So we want to try to delay our opponent as much as possible as well. Or like the way I look at it is that we have to take risks basically, and this is a good risk, and it's actually paid off. Cleared the tower. See how good the vills are? They're so reliable. Even these guys fight them back with the vills, so it would be perfect even now. No, stop going back. You're like the worst bodyguard ever. I strap you up with a gun, a knife, and a vest, and then every single time, even just a couple hooligans come to attack me, you just run away. Defend, bro. Fight back. You are not a reliable bodyguard, honestly. I'm gonna think twice before hiring you. Yeah, this is just not it. Because now, look, take a look at how much idle time we've got. Even though we cleared up those men at arms, that idle time of running back and then running all the vills, you know, to the TC and back to work is so much damage. You really want to stress how much damage that is, and just how much those men at arms cause chaos into our base. Okay. Nonetheless, main point: clean up the army. After that's done, get the castle age ASAP. That's our main goal here. So, opponent still has army on the field with those scouts and skirms. I would try to take an aggressive position and try to clear those up as fast as possible. Like, going to stone doesn't really fit our game plan. I know you're probably scared of more towers now, but our game plan, again, it's actually really simple. It's clean up the army and get the castle age. Almost every human game is the exact same when it comes to like game plan, because we always have, think of it, you're one-tricking the Civ, or like you're maining the strat, right, the 2TC boom. So you're always going to be in the situation where you have an eco lead and you just have to defend and clear up the army. And this is why I hated the scouts. They just don't do enough in cleaning up army, sadly. They're more of like an aggressive unit and not a defensive one. So unless you're dealing with skirms, I don't recommend scouts. It's almost always archery range for the humans in feudal. And then you want to get the stables in castle age. So yeah, as I was saying, you're always in the situation where you're defending with more economy. So your main goal is to clean up this army ASAP and then get back to castle age. And now things are falling apart. You're up 7 vills, but they're just not working efficiently. And we're down 2,500 res. In my opinion, this game is completely over already. Our opponents can just get the castle age and go crossbow, and we're gonna just die to it again. We can even go eagles, it doesn't really matter. He might throw though. He might throw. A lot of idols. Yeah, 2 ranges would have been way better. We're gonna fast forward a little bit because here it's kind of just a bit more of the same. We're not doing a whole lot. And we go, opponent's coming with forward siege. That's good for him. Yeah, that's the right call. And again, I was trying to emphasize this. Like, you can get to castle age in castle age 22-23 minutes easily. Despite everything that's come your way, it's still easily possible to get there if you just have your vills working efficiently on farms and you clean up these units early. It's very possible. What's happening here is that you can't farm enough because you keep getting harassed and your vills are not on wood. They keep going back and, back and forth, just walking instead of gathering res. The last thing I'll say with regards to that is, like, think of it logically. We have a vill lead, but if we get our vills harassed, it's basically dealing double damage to us, because the more vills we have, the more vills that go idle when we get attacked, the worse it is for us, right? If you have 1 vill idle, it's almost negligible. 10 vills idle, it's a big problem. 20 vills idle, that's half of our economy not working. Okay? And we don't have that much of a vill lead that we can afford to have 20 vills idle. And unfortunately, you basically have 20 vills idle at all times. These guys are just walking back and forth. These guys have to garrison now. And it's been like this for like the entire feudal age. And it's no surprise we're down 3,000 resources at this point. And one thing we need to rush castle for, I mean, this is painful now. Our opponent's castle age, we gotta wait 2 minutes. You can't defend this. This is why castle age fast with humans is so important. Think about what I said here. Cleaning up the army, rushing castle age. If this army was gone and we rush castle age, if we're in castle age now, he wouldn't have the luxury of just sitting outside your base, siege pushing from a hill. It just wouldn't be a thing. So if there's one piece of advice, I've seen it all 3 games, tighten up the Dark Age and early feudal, and work on getting the defense done. Rush the 12 farms, work on getting the defense with the right military units, and then work. The last step is just getting to a faster castle. I'm sure, or faster, fast as possible. Castle, usually your opponent will be faster, but just a little bit. Like right now, our opponent is faster by 5 minutes. Usually should be like 3 minutes maximum, right? But yeah, at this point, I mean, if we have one chance to come back, never rebuild the TC in feudal age. It takes like twice as long to build in feudal age, so at this point you should just wait till castle. Now it'll speed up at least. Yeah, at this point, it's not your fault here. There's very little comeback mechanic here. You can try to go stable Maginot, but any mistake you do from here on out is not actually a mistake. It's just how it goes. Simple as that. Yeah, no, even this is not a mistake. There's no point in me even correcting anything here. You need a miracle defense. Even if I take over the game from here, I might not be able to win. That's how far behind we are. I know that sounds extreme to say, but 1200s these days are actually pretty good, to be honest. Like, again, I really want to emphasize, I don't think you're playing bad. Like, honestly, it doesn't even feel like you're getting outplayed. It just feels like you're focusing on the wrong things, which is great news for you, because that just means that once you start focusing on the right things, the game will just be so much easier for you. I'm sure, Richard, and you can message me on Discord about this as well. I am 100% sure you think you're getting destroyed in these games. And I want you to know that that is not the case whatsoever. It feels like you're getting destroyed, and that's just because you're not resigning on time, to be honest. The game was over 15 minutes ago. Anything that happens here is completely exaggerated. Like, your opponent is splitting on you like he's Ronaldinho right now. Like, obviously, it's going to look like, wow, who is this guy? Like, this guy's crazy. But it's not that we're getting outplayed. It's just that, oh, nice shot. It's just that we have one Maginot. Our opponent has so many crossbows, and he doesn't care if he loses them or not. Because, he's just up so much at this point. So, once you do things a bit better, trust me on this, you're not getting massively outplayed. Oh, we're typing? Okay. Don't worry, it might be tilting, but trust me on this, you're not getting outplayed. This is not the worst thing in the world. It's just tightening up a few things early on. I'll just quickly show you what I'm talking about, just to really hit this home. Right here, like, first of all, we had a bad start, but like right here, if you just had the 2 archery ranges, right? 2 ranges, screw the 3 scouts. We're just on like 5-10 skirms with fletching potentially, or like maybe like even 6 skirms with fletching, or even without. It doesn't really matter. 10 skirms without fletching, for example. All of this is cleared up. Then you fast forward a little bit. He can't come in here. All right, he can't come in here. It's not a thing. You clear all this up, you'd have more farms working, and instead of being in this position, you're getting siege pushed. If I fast forward a little bit, we're getting siege pushed from the hill. You'd be in castle age around now. Imagine if you're in castle around now. He lost all these archers because we defended with the skirms. We'd have much closer res collected counts, and we're on 3 stable knights right here, right now, in castle age with like a 20 vill lead. That is a classic position that you can get if you just tighten up this defense with the humans. All right, man. Thanks for watching. Thank you guys on YouTube for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Richard, I hope these rec reviews have helped. Be sure to work on these things that I've pointed out, especially the things I pointed out in every single game. The mistakes you do in every single game. That is exactly why you're hard stuck. I say this to everyone. I'll end the video on this note. If you're hard stuck, 100% you're making mistakes. You're making mistakes that you're not realizing. And so you think you're getting wrecked. Like, Richard, you probably think you're getting wrecked because your opponent was splitting his mangonels and he just had so much army. You probably think that's why you lost. And I'm pointing out mistakes at like minute 12. Fix those mistakes at minute 12, and I promise you, you're going to be the guy who's splitting like freaking, whoever it is. You're going to be the guy dancing on your opponent's forehead and impressing everyone, okay? And you're going to start climbing elo much quicker as well. So what happens in the late stage of the game, it's not actually because we're getting outplayed here. It's because we messed up 15 minutes ago, all right? So yeah, if you guys want to see more like this, like, comment, subscribe. If you're interested in getting your Rex reviewed, by the way, it's something I offer on Patreon. I offer so many things on Patreon. If you guys want to, check that out and get better at this game, the resources are out there. And hope you guys can check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, feel free to enjoy the videos on YouTube, of course. Love you guys all. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.